Hello everyone, welcome back to CloudForge Lab. We are continuing our discussion on Azure on Terraform. In the previous video, we discussed about outputs in Terraform, and in today's video, we are going to discuss about modules. So let's start. I've done the initial setup. I've declared the Terraform block. I've declared the required providers, and we are going to use Azure RM. So I've done that. So before I go into coding the other things, right? So what are we going to let us understand what is modules and what we are going to do. So modules in Terraform is simply a reusable container of resources. So think of it like a function in programming, like a template you can reuse multiple times. So instead of writing the same resource block again and again, you can create a module once, pass inputs or variables to that module, get outputs, and reuse it anywhere. Okay, so it's like, as I said, you can assume modules in Terraform is like a function in other programming languages. Okay, so you have in Terraform, you will have the root module, right? The which will act as the entry point or the main code, Terraform code, and then you have reusable module called inside the root module. Okay, which are the root. So we have root module and child module. So child modules are reusable. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. We will creating two in the modules, and we will use it. So we will also see how outputs can be used for intermodule communication, which we discussed in our previous video. Okay, so I've done the basic setup. So I'll go here, and this is the main. We'll come to the main one later. But first, go to this resource group. Here itself, also we'll create a file. We'll say main.pf. Okay, let us create another file, which is variables.pf. Okay, and then another file, which is outputs. Okay, so in the main TF under this one, right, under the resource group, right, we are going to create a resource group. So I've opened documentation for Terraform Azure. So let's go there and see the example. Okay, so you can just copy it and use that. Okay, so let's do one thing. We'll use say a variable, right? So we'll use a variable name that will be uh, using in our module. Okay. So, but let's just copy the sample location, and we'll go here and just paste it. Instead of let me give it mod rg, and here instead of giving this as name, let's let me give it here as mod.rg. Okay, and then this one I'll use it as mod location. Okay, we'll get to the error part. Okay, later. Okay, and okay, so we have created the RG name and location name. So we need to create this in variables, right? So because we have declared this two variables, so we need to create that variables as well. So we'll go here and create a variable name here. So this is variable, and one is RG name. Okay, First is RG name and type will be string. Now the second variable is location and the type will be again string. Okay, so this is done. So now it's underscore RG name. Let's see what we have here. Underscore. Okay, let's give it underscore name. Okay, let's give it a hyphen itself. We will change it here. Okay, so now my variable is created. Now, since we need output, so that we can pass it to the storage account module. Okay, so for the output, we'll create an output block, output, and we'll give it a RG name. Okay, and the value will be your Azure RM resource group mod.rg dot name. Okay, and then we need the resource group location as well. Okay, because this is at the same location we will be creating the storage account. So that will keep it as RG location. Okay, and value will be giving us as your RM say mod dot location. So we are done with our resource group module. So we have created resource group and we have created the variable files and the output files. Okay. Now we'll do the same thing in the storage group module as well. Okay. So let us create the storage group module. Okay. So first we will create the same also the same file. One is main.pf. Okay. And then we create another file as variables. Okay. We'll go to the main.tf and create the resource group. For that, we'll go to the documentation. Okay. I mean the storage account. We'll search for a storage account. Storage account. Here is storage account. We will just copy this. Paste. We'll keep it as example. Storage account name and let's remove tags. We don't need it. Storage account name we will keep it then again for this also we are going to use this. Let's keep this as labs. Okay. And for this also we are going to use variables, so let's do it one by one. Okay, so say var dot storage name. Okay, and then here we will use var dot resource group name and location. Var dot location. Okay, and then we need to define the variables. We'll save it. Then we need to define the variables. We'll come here, right? Then we'll declare the variable. This file name is incorrect. So we have to delete this one. Remove. Okay, next correct. And now the variable one is RG name. Type will be string. Then we need the storage account name. Storage name, which will be type will be again string. We are not adding any validation to keep it simple. And then we'll have location, which is again type as string. Okay. So now we have created a module for resource group and a module for the storage account. Okay, you can see here. And we need to use this. Okay, we need to use this in our uh, Terraform main Terraform module. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so we have already given the providers for the main module, our main module. We'll go here and use the modules that we have created for the resource and storage. Okay, so for module, we will go module. Okay, module. Okay, go RG. Okay, then we need to have source, and the source that we have is like we have to in the same folder. We have to go more and the source code. Okay, this is where we have to get the further resource group. Okay, we need to provide two things. One is the RG name. Okay, so we can keep it as demo RG module. Okay, and then we need location, which is keep it as uh, HTS. Okay, so this module we have created, right, and we have passed the value to the variables for that module, right? Now we'll do and do for storage account. We'll call the storage account module. Okay, we'll keep it as storage module. Okay, and our source will be storage account module. Okay, and the storage account module, it needs one thing is storage name, right? Storage name. So we'll give it a random value, say demo storage mod. Okay, and then it needs RG name, and this is where we will be using uh, outputs for inter-module communication, right? So we'll give module RG module, okay, dot RG, okay, and then we'll be using location. For that, again, we will be using module.rg dot location. Okay, so you can see here these two lines we are using from our first module and we are passing it to our storage module. Okay, this is how the inter-module communication happens in your Terraform configuration when you are using module. Okay, now now that our configuration is ready, we can go ahead and do Terraform init and plan. And if we face any error, we will fix it. So, in my first video, I explained how, I'm the second video, apologies. I had explained how, what are the commands are run when we execute Terraform module. So, if you see, it first initializes the backend, right? And then it initializes the modules, and then the providers, right? So, now it's done. We'll say Terraform plan. Okay, okay, features is required. Okay, so maybe providers are not provided that. We can go to the documentation and remove everything here. The documentation will come here. Okay, and then let's Terraform init with code 3 and we'll run Terraform plan. Okay. Ideally, this is not required, but some. Okay, so 2 to add, which is fine, and now we can go with Terraform uh, fly. We'll put in place. And this will create our the infrastructure in our portal. So we'll wait for it, and once it is created, and we can go and verify in the portal. But meanwhile, it's getting created. I hope you get an understanding of how modules are used in Terraform. Okay, and if you are watching this video for the first time, I will suggest you to go and watch the previous videos as well. Okay, so you will get an understanding of what all things we have discussed till now. I know that I for most of the lectures I have been creating resource group and storage account, but as and when we go over the main concept, I'll be creating different Azure resources using Terraform. So for that, I will suggest you to go and subscribe to my channel. So as and when the videos are uploaded, you get a notification. So our resource group is completed and now it's creating the storage account. It's once it's done, we'll go and verify. But let's verify if the storage resource group is created or not. And our demo RG model is created, right? So this is fine. Mm, Wait for it. It will take some time. Sometimes it gets created quickly, but sometimes it takes time. But let's wait. So yeah, the resource domain storage account is created. We go to this uh, resource group, and within the resource group, you will see the storage account which is created. Okay. So thank you for watching this video, and please do subscribe to my channel for more such videos. Thank you.